Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. So glad to see you. It's Friday morning, September the 1st, 2017, and this is episode 165. 165 consecutive weekday mornings we have spent together sharing some news and some interesting stories and a passage of wisdom and a prayer to get our day started the right way. I hope that your week has been going fantastic. We've made it to Friday. A 3-day weekend for many of us, sitting there just staring us in the face, waiting for us to get to it, to embrace it, to use it, to have fun, to make memories and adventures with it. It's right there. We just got to get through today. Good morning, Tom. Good to see you, buddy. So today is the day. We're going to work through this day, and we're going to be more productive than ever for most, except for automobile workers. Is that true, by the way? Just got me thinking about that. So they tell you that when you're buying a car, that to find the manufacture date and to stay away from cars that were manufactured on Fridays because the quality goes down on Friday. Is that true, I wonder? Or is that just something said at once, an old wives' tale, but it was said by men. So like an old husband's tale, I guess. I wonder if that's true or not, like documented true. So, I don't know. But I hope that your quality does not drop today on Friday. I hope today you go out with a bang and give it your all. So, interesting day yesterday. Lots of stuff going on. Good morning, Sean. Good to see you. Thank you, Sean, so much for passing that thing on to me. I was asleep last night when you sent it. This morning I read it. I love it. I'm going to share it later on. Sean, love it. Thank you. Good morning, Rebecca. Good to see you. Good to see you. For everybody who's on the morning routine, Rebecca, let's see here. Rebecca probably, of all the people who join us on the morning routine, probably has known me the longest. Would you say that's probably true, right? She knew me when I was 12 or 13 or something like that, man. Long time ago. Man, that's pretty awesome. So, very cool. So yesterday, eventful day. Let's see. I told you I've been working on a project at the house. The inspector came yesterday. I was all nervous about this because I've done tons of work and never had to deal with an inspector before. And had an inspector come, and the inspector looked around. Yep, looks good, and left. I'm like, what? That's it? All the stress, all the strain, all the concern of doing everything perfectly. And he looks, yep, looks good. I'm like, okay, well, guess I did a good job then. And then we also, yesterday was, of course, the first day of high school for our daughter, Annika. And so we went out to dinner last night as a ritual that we have started many, many years ago. And sat down and had a meal together. Had lots of laughs, kidding around and stuff like that, and it was great, And one of the things, it's interesting, I guess one of the lessons that I have recently taught my daughter, and by teaching it to her, it was a process of my own going through it. It was pretty kind of cool, is this was the first day back for my daughter into high school after we lost our son last October, her brother, and they were very close. And when our son had passed away, Annika decided to finish her junior year working or doing her school from home and having a flexible schedule and doing her work here. So going back to school is the first time that you get to see a whole lot of people that you haven't seen since then. And one of the things that I've been telling her, and it's an important lesson for all of us, I think, right, is I was telling her that it's up to her when she goes to the school to be the first person to engage in conversation with people. To say, hey, how you doing? How was your summer? To talk normal. Because people don't know how to talk to you when things happen. As you or I go through things in our life where we know somebody, we don't know what to say. They know what to say to us. A lot of times the person who's going through that thinks it's everybody else's responsibility to figure it out. And I truly believe, and it's proving to be accurate, that it is not. It is our responsibility, being the ones who went through something, to help other people understand how to proceed and to act normal, or how to act however it is that we need them to act. So otherwise, nobody knows, and it gets really uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what to say. It's like uncomfortable. But anyway, so she had a great first day back to school, and on we go. So what's going on? Let's some stories here today. Let's take a look here and see what stories I've got. 3 interesting stories for you today. Okay, here's one. So We all know what we've all heard about the paleo diet. It's been raging. It's a huge one, which this is actually funny, a little article I'm going to share with you, but it's kind of interesting, the range of facts. According to the Nutritional Business Journal, between 1 and 3 million people describe to the paleo diet. The Nutritional Business Journal sounds very, very formal, doesn't it? So their stat is between 1 and 3 million. That's not very narrow, like 1 in 3 million. Okay, that's a pretty wide gap. You would think that a Nutritional Business Journal could do better than that. But anyways, that's not what this article is about. So the paleo diet, for everybody who doesn't know what it is, wow, look at that. This is great natural lighting. The sun is shining in this window over here. I love it. Anyways, the diet is comprised of food that would have been available to Paleolithic humans, which includes non-processed foods that could be found by foraging or killing animals for meat. That means no dairy and no grains. Okay, that's what the paleo diet is. So now, there is a company now that for people who are living the paleo diet, they want to feed their babies paleo food, which is a little bit controversial, but hey, they are being called cave babies, which are miniature members of a society who are going paleo even before they learn their first words. So if you want to call somebody a name today, which, we don't want to call anybody a name, but, guys in our banter, you can call them a cave baby. And they'd be like, what is that? Well, that's a baby who's eating a paleo diet. So anyways, but this company called Serenity Kids is a startup, and they started marketing a line of liquid baby food that has the highest meat content of any pouched baby food. Just listen to these recipes, okay? Meals include liquefied, uncured bacon with organic kale and butternut squash, chicken with peas and carrots, and even beef with kale and sweet potato. The product is sold in packs of 6 4-ounce pouches for $27. So there you go. So now if you have a baby, you can feed your baby uncured bacon with organic kale and butternut squash. Just what they've been asking for. So interesting. So the baby food for the paleo diet. Next, this one is going to take some thought. But if you were in a position of influence, okay, so if you are a coach, a teacher, in ministry with people and especially with students, just in your, if you have a large workplace where you interact with a lot of people and you want to be an influence of some sort in a positive way on them, okay? This article, you're going to want to go to this link, so go to freedomconvo.com, click on the morning show, and look at today and read this article here, okay? This article is there's more in it that I'm going to be able to share, but social media influencers are having a moment. Those who have successfully built engaged communities are turning them into businesses and working with marketers to promote their brands. We know this. The key to their success is clear, their influence. So this article is, how can you build an influence? How can you build and influence people? So if you want to do that in a positive way, maybe you don't want to be a social media star, but maybe you want to make an impact and you just don't know how to do that effectively. Here's tips from some top social media influencers. 1, start with your strengths. In the workplace, you need to find where your strengths and the needs of the organization are, and then let them be known. So start with your strengths. Don't pretend to be somebody that you're not. You can't influence people when you're not being you because it's outside of your wheelhouse, right? Focus on audience quality, not size. Very interesting, right? Sometimes you see, these people who are affecting millions of people, right? But they could be affecting millions of people skin deep. Would you rather affect millions of people skin deep or 10 people straight to their hearts and minds, right? Okay, so focus on audience quality and not size. While social media influencers reach millions, others can be just as effective with a much smaller but a more engaged following. Okay? Next, communicate and curate. social media influencers are, by the nature of the work, good communicators. Similarly, becoming a go-to source for information, the basis of many social media influencers' popularity, is another way to fast-track influence. So be a source of information and be as good a communicator as you can. All right? So there you go. Because that's right. Yes, that's right, Kevin. I love it. Now, next, be authentic and be aspirational. People won't take you seriously if they don't think you're being honest about what you believe or how you act. At the same time, there's a fine line between showing humanity and vulnerability and oversharing. That is a line that we all must walk, right? I'm still trying to figure it out. Here I am, right? So pay attention to what's working. Get feedback into your strengths, value, and performance. So if anybody wants to give me feedback on my performance, feel free. You can message me and tell me, what that is. So next, choose consistency, not predictability. Being reliable and consistently delivering what is expected of you is important in building influence. Don't be so predictable, though, that you're boring. And there you have it. Top tips from top social media influencers on how to make a better influence better in the way that you want to do that. So one last little story. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but it was interesting, some information. They were talking about college students. Nearly half of all college students in America end up dropping out. An epidemic quit rate that's poised to cause some serious economic trouble. More than 50% of students who go to college drop out. People with a college education are people without a college education are 3 times more likely to live in poverty. How do you like that number? Don't necessarily agree with it, but maybe I'm looking at only one slice of the pie that don't go to college. The people who go right into working with their hands and learning trades and things like that, not the other part of it, which is they aren't motivated. I don't know. So, but this article here is about a large number. I'm looking for the numbers here. Despite receiving financial aid, roughly 4,000 seniors who have good grades may quit school because of small, outstanding scholastic debt. The sums are often less than $1,000, but in many cases, such balances make them unable to register for their next batch of classes. So this article is talking about how a lot of students who are in college, doing good, want to graduate college, get to a point where they've borrowed what they can borrow, they've gotten grants and scholarships, but they've run out of money and can't finish and end up dropping out because of small debts. And they're talking about figuring out ways to cancel those small debts. I will tell you a personal story. I was going to the University of Scranton. I had 1 semester left. I had 5 classes left, 5 or 3? 3 or 5 classes left that I had to take. It might have been 3. And I was out of money. I had borrowed what I could borrow. I had done everything that I possibly could. I was a husband. I was a father at the time. I was working 2 jobs at the time, going to school full time. I was at my end. I had no more money. So let's rewind. 2 years previous to that, when I arrived on campus, because I had transferred into the University of Scranton, I was talking to one of my mentors, Harris, the guy that I work for right now, actually, and he said, you're going to the college. Why don't you go and meet the president? I'm like, why would I go meet the president? He's like, just stop in and say hello. Why not? I'm like, okay, sure. I'll take advice. I walked into the president of the college office. His nickname was Bear. I think it was Father Panuska at the time, if I remember his name right, but his nickname was Bear. Anyways, I walked in. I said, may I see Father Panuska or whatever his name was? Yes, hang on a second. And they're like, okay, you can go in. Right into the president of the whole college's offices. I walked in, I said, hello, sir. I said, my name is Freedom Convold. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come to your college and accepting my admission. I said, I work 2 jobs. I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I'm going to do my darn best to prove that you made the right decision in allowing me to come to your college. And I just wanted to meet you and thank you. And he said, well, that was fantastic. Thank you for coming in. Now, fast forward 2 years. I'm out of money, out of scratch. Need 3 more or 5 more classes, whatever it was to finish, and don't have it. Guess what I did? Went to the president's office, May I see the president again? Yes, lets me in. Hello, Father, I'm Freedom. I remember you. He says, oh, good. He says, well, I'm Freedom. I've been going here. I have an excellent GPA. I've been working 2 jobs. I'm a father, I'm a husband, and been going at it and doing great in school. I happen to be at a place now, though I'm out of money. I've borrowed everything that I can, and I can't go any further. Is there anything that you can do to help? And he said, yes. We will give you a scholarship for the last classes that you need so that you can graduate. Booyah! And they paid for my last classes. And that's the point of this article, is that how many students get to that point where it's either out, or go to that. So 2 lessons. 1, great article, lesson there. 1 lesson that's important. You know what? Networking, meeting people, I learned that from somebody else. I did not do that on my own. I did it because somebody advised me to do it. But when you go someplace, why not go and meet the president? Just to say hi, not because you need anything. Why not? Why not, when you get a new job, go and try to meet the owners of the company or the people that are in a department or a building that you don't even work in? Why not? And thank them for the opportunity. Why not? If you go to a school, why not go and meet the principal or the vice principal and introduce yourself? Not because you're in trouble, but why not? You know? So there you go. A lesson for the day. On we go, guys. Google Trends. Okay, we're going to blaze some time here. Top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, Ohio State football. Number 2, the Seahawks, as in football. Number 3, DACA. Don't know what that is. Number 4, gas shortage. Gas, I went to get gas yesterday. Holy cow, man, the gas is expensive. $2.70 a gallon for regular, $3.09 for the next one up, 89%. Number 5, gas. Number 6, Princess Diana. Number 7, Gas Buddy. Number 8, Crosby, Texas. Number 9, the Patriots. Number 10 is Justin Verlander. 3 of the top 10 are on gas. Somebody's got gas, and other people do not, because there's a shortage. That's right. So Ohio State football is Kevin's number 1, huh? All right. Nice to know that. I'm glad you're a fan, Kevin. Ha, ha, ha. Not. I know. Anyways, all right. So news for today. The trending news for today. Now, top of the list, Supreme Court of Kenya. Supreme Court to rule over disputed presidential election. After that, Donald Trump. Trump has pledged $1 million to Harvey relief, White House says. Next, Milwaukee County, Wisconsin. Milwaukee Sheriff, Trump supporter Clark resigns. After that, we have the deferred action for childhood arrivals. Trump expected to rescind DACA, senior official says. I don't know what that means. Next, Bendi Bazaar. Rescuers pull more bodies from Mumbai building rubble. That's a sad story. Obamacare is next. Trump to slash Obamacare outreach funding. Next is National Hurricane Center. Irma intensifies into Category 3 hurricane, which is heading towards the East Coast. Kevin, you're cracking me up. Next is Wayne Rooney. Everton striker Wayne Rooney arrested on suspicion of drunk driving close to home in Cheshire. Okay, so that's England. Last but not least, Heather Nauert. U.S. retaliates against Russia, orders closure of consulate and nexus. Okay, that's the end of that story. So let's move on, guys, to a passage of wisdom this morning and see what's going on. This passage of wisdom is one verse that I pulled out of a larger one that came to my email this morning from the church that I attend. They send one out every day. And I pulled this one side. I read the whole thing. There was so much in there. I didn't want us to be overwhelmed. Sometimes we get so much that we can't focus on something simple, right? And I just wanted to narrow it down. So I grabbed this verse because I thought it was interesting. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands. Why, you ask? The answer? That they may have something to share with those in need. Now, let's go back. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer. So a lot of people right now are going, well, I don't steal, so this verse doesn't apply to me. Okay, fine. So you don't steal. So you don't have to worry about not stealing. Let's move on. But we must work, doing something useful with our own hands. That applies to all of us. Now, why should we work and do something useful with our hands? So that we can get more stuff? No. So that we may have something to share with those in need. Wow. The motivating part of us getting up and working and doing things with our hands is so that we can share and do things for those in need. Awesome, awesome passage. I love it. So before we move on, I want to share with you guys something that Sean sent me last night. It was a picture with a phrase. I thought this was powerful, and it's a great reminder. Okay? Listen to this. It says, spend 1 minute praying for someone who doesn't know Jesus before you go to bed. You might be the only one praying for them. Pray like a warrior for their soul. How often do you actually pray for those who are on the morning routine, who believe in Jesus? How often do you actually pray for somebody intentionally on a daily basis like a warrior to try to save them, that they would know the grace and faith that you know? Great question. And I got to tell you, I'm failing on that. I'm failing on that, but I'm not going to fail anymore. Thank you, Sean, for calling me to the carpet. I appreciate it. I know that's not what you were doing, but this is awesome. And I'm going to challenge all of us. Let's make it a daily habit, okay? So let's pray, guys, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, we thank you for today, September 1st, 2017, a new month. A new month to make a list of things that we'd like to accomplish this month, some goals, some people that we'd like to affect, some whatever it is, some things that we want to do, some memories we want to make. Thank you for this month. Thank you for this day. Father, I want to thank you for the passages that you've given us today. The passage one of why we should get up every morning. Why should we go to work? Why should we toil with our hands as we do? Thank you for the reminder that we do that so that we have things to share with people in need. Wow, that's powerful. What a great reminder and way to switch things around and give us the right perspective of why we go to work. You know, when we get tired because we're working for our pay our bills, you know what? If we know we're going to work because we're going to have something to share, boy, that's a lot more motivating. So thank you for that passage. Father, I also want to thank you for Sean, and I want to thank you for him thinking and seeing this and thinking of me and sending this to me. I thank you that all of us together, we can prop each other up, push each other forward, help each other become better. Father, help us all as we go through our day today to notice and the people around us that we can pray for. Help us find that one person today, the one person that stands out in our heart as the one that we really need to battle for, and to pray for them, to know the love and grace that we know that you have waiting for them. Father, be with us today and through this long weekend, that we get to have a great, safe journey, and that memories will be made, and that we'll move forward in sharing the light unto the world and be a great influence in a positive way. We love you and we thank you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. So glad you guys were here this morning and enjoyed this Friday with me. I hope that this weekend is fantastic. I will be here Monday morning on Labor Day with the morning routine. So until then, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.